more biosphere fun. So this PowerPoint is on brown earth soil. So this is a complete contrast to Podzol. So whatever you've learned in Podzol, you just flip it, and the opposite is true for brown earth. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so for brown earth, I want you to do exactly the same as what you did for Podzol. So you're going to copy that diagram that's on the left-hand side, taking a full page in your jotter, but you're not going to make the diagram huge because you're going to annotate around the outside. Now, if you've done Podzol correctly, you'll know just how much space that you have to leave for the description and explanation of a brown earth soil. Okay, remember to make it neat, use a ruler, and choose your two colours, one for your description and one for your explanation. Okay, so like we did in Podzol, here's a picture of a brown earth soil, just to show you what it looks like. So you can see again at the top you have the grass, and then below that you've got your AO layer, your A, B and C. Unlike Podzol, this one's very indistinct. So you go from your dark brown layers to your lighter brown layers, but it's hard to see the distinction between your horizons. Brown earth description. I'm going to start right hand side with AO horizon. So a Podzol had a more humus layer, a brown earth has a mull humus. This means it's slightly less acidic than you didn't have in your Podzol. Okay, so your description, your AO layer will be less acidic mull humus. Underneath that, we can see that the colours changed from a Podzol to a brown earth. So we've got a thick brown humus layer in the AO horizon. A horizon is a dark brown layer which gradually gets less dark with depth. So you can see from the A to the B, it goes from a dark brown to a light brown. The texture in both A and B is a loamy texture, so clay, silt and sand are all present. The C horizon, it is a more alkaline type of rock, like limestone. Next is an iron pan. So an iron pan can occasionally develop in the upper B horizon because leaching is still present. However, you don't need to explain that right now, but just so you're aware, with a Podzol, it would be quite a strong iron pan. This one, in a brown earth, it is a weak iron pan. No defined horizons, as I've said in the previous slide. We do have significant soil biota, so microorganisms and earthworms are present. Long roots of the deciduous trees, which go down into A and B horizons, and the leaf litter, lastly, is broad deciduous leaves. A reminder, folks, that you should be annotating your diagram with a colour for description. Next up is explanation, so you're going to choose your colour for explanation to go around your diagram. Let's start on the right hand side, so I think I'll do two sound clips for this. Deciduous trees. So, in the previous description, we could see that we had broad leaves from our deciduous trees. The reason why we have deciduous trees is because this is a more temperate region. So remember back to your latitude, and brown earth is found in parts of Europe like Germany and the UK. So precipitation is just exceeding evaporation here, and we've got a milder climate. Because of this, we get nice broad leaves which are easily decomposed. So in the autumn, when the leaves fall off the trees, we get a nice thick leaf litter. This will then link into the next one below. So we have a less acidic humus because we have these broad leaves. So they break down easily into less acidic compounds. So that leads to the less acidic humus being mull. The thick brown humus layer is due to the fact that we have quicker fermentation. So remember, fermentation is how quickly something decomposes. So it's quicker because we have warmer temperatures here. And the the leaves are more fragile and easily broken down, so that leads back to a nice thick brown humus layer, which is less acidic. The layers of the soil, the A in particular, is dark brown colour. Because we don't get as much leaching here, link back to the bit at the top there. It says that about the precipitation just exceeding evaporation, so we don't get that heavy snow melt bring all of the nutrients through the soil profile like we would have pod soil. So less leaching, therefore less humus is washed through into the B horizon. So we don't have that zone of alluviation like we would in a pod soil. It's a loamy texture, again because we don't have leaching. So clay and silt particles aren't leached out of the soil, so it makes it loamy throughout the horizon. So we've got a nice balance between clay, silt and sand particles within the brown earth. Okay, bottom left hand side, indistinct horizons. Remember, the earthworm's job is to churn up the soil. We have earthworms here in abundance. They love a brown earth. They couldn't get enough of it. So we do have soil biota here. Mixed with the long roots of the deciduous trees, earthworms plus long roots means that the soil is being churned up. So it leads to indistinct horizons. So if you look at the diagram, you can see that we've got that wavy boundary line between your A and your B. It kind of cross over if you're looking at the arrows to the right hand side of the diagram. Remember I said about the precipitation just exceeding evaporation? That leads to a little bit of leaching. Not as much in a pod soil, but we do get a little bit. And because we do have some leaching, a weak iron pan can develop in B. Next, more biota. Why do we have earthworms? Because it's warmer. That's simply because they can survive here. Okay, it's warmer, so earthworms love it. Last thing, long roots because there's less leaching. So remember in the pod soil you had the conifers with the short roots because all of the nice nutrients were washed out. Here we don't have that. The roots go right the way down into A and B because they can still get enough minerals and nutrients out of both horizons. And at the end, what I said earlier, they mix up the soil as well. Okay everybody, last slide for brown earth. This is a table, like we have in pod soil, that's summarising slides 4 and 5, the description of a brown earth and the explanation of a brown earth. It says at the top there, explanation with reference to soil forming factors. I just want to remind everybody what soil forming factors are. This is your saying that asks you to remember of 10 rubber ducks can overtake penguins, time, relief, drainage, climate, organisms and parent material. So you'll see throughout the explanation it's talking about climate such as precipitation and warmer conditions. It's talking about soil organisms if soil biota are present, and it's talking about other things like parent materials such as limestone. So again, all the terminology we learned in the first slide is totally relevant for all 3 of these soil profiles. Okay, so use this table as like a checklist to make sure that you're understanding the link between the description and explanation.